right. Hi, can you guys hear me? Okay. Oh my God. Hi, everybody. You can hear me. Oh my God. Hi. Oh my God. What a year. What a year. Thank you guys for being here. Oh my God. I think I figured this out without even failing. The comments coming in. Woohoo! Thank you, darling. Oh, what a year it has been. Actually, I'm drinking a really healthy drink. This is not wine. Okay. Wait, everybody. Caesar Zeus wants to say hi to everybody. Okay. You want to bark? Say hi to everybody. Caesar, say hi. Oh, hi. Hi. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Caesar. That's actually his nickname, Caesar. He is, his first name is Zeus. Yeah, okay. I'm calm. Actually, when dogs do that, that's what they're telling you, to calm down. He's very calm. That's the energy of Caesar right now. So, because the storm has just passed. Oh, you guys, I can't wait to talk. I couldn't talk until September. Say, okay, you want to stay here. Okay, he's here, you guys. Okay, so off I go. So today, you guys, I wanted to just try this out. So I want to see how it goes. I've been doing so much, how to say this, investigations. There's so much going on. So I end up now here. So this is going to be my journal. I figure, the only way to do this is for me to start talking about some of these things, because this is kind of coming back for me to that video that I did on healing, on self-healing. And if some of you guys, Diane, I know you watched that, so you know what that means and you know what that video was all about. And then I've talked of 3 stages of healing that humanity is going to go through. And so the original stage, the first stage, was personal or self-healing. And that's what we enter into, as I was talking about, in 2014. So we did that in 2014. All right. Okay. So we did that in 2014. Okay. We talked about this, about our personal healing. And so this is when then collective healing, all things started to come kind of sort of rolling in. And if you guys remember in that video, I talked a lot about this first stage of a personal individual healing process, that each and every one who is a living soul. I am not talking to, or this information is not for those that don't understand what this is. This is not a delivery for a hive mind grid. My information never was. This was the funny thing, you guys. This was the funny thing. My information was never for the hive grid mind, but it was taken as such, and it was spread as hive mind grid information, as a program. And that's what I talk about, and that's what I laugh about when I talk about all these people mimicking or parroting information, because it all starts here and it ends here, because you are the universe. So I talk about healing on individual level on that time. And in fact, I talk about becoming like a dog. Meaning, what are these dogs? this is the DNA in here. The DNA of a wolf is here. And trust me, it's still here. And I've talked later about this process as original DNA activation. And now we come to that point right now, and this is what I talk about, the floodgates. And this is what I talk about, the creator floodgates. What are those gates? This is the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity that I just recently posted in Wild Wisdom Warriors group about the Holy Trinity. It is your own inner Holy Trinity, your higher self incarnated here, the invisible and how it connects to visible. It's in your mind. And so we're talking about universe being mind of it all here. And so then the floodgates, what I talk about, and these are the 3 stages now that you can kind of, because what just happened, okay, I'm all over the place. Am I all over the place? Am I making sense? Whoever's watching, am I making sense, you guys? All right, I'm going to keep going. Okay, I'm going to keep going. But anyway, what we've got here right now is, for those of you that know my material and know what I was talking about, I'm going back to a very old video from 2014 or 2015 about self-healing and what that means. And now let's talk about that stage being over, and now us, collective human consciousness. This is what I was talking about last year, the year before, about emergence of human consciousness, which is a living trinary field that I also talk about for Aquarian age. What the Aquarian age is really all about is the collective human consciousness is going to flip into trinary field. And this is what the baptism is all about for the feminine. And so now, welcome to your real reality. And like in my 2016 prediction chart, I went a little bit back to 2012 in that chart. And then I moved forward to 2017. And that was time of when the choices are going to be visible. What does it mean? What does it mean? Choices are going to be visible. But for those of you guys that stuck with me, that were not fake it until you make it crowd, this is what you are, my darlings. Mwah. I love you for being here. How many of you are here? Just a few people. It was never my intention to collect followers that are following masses, that are following, how to become cool in this group or with that group, or how to ascend. Really? How did ascension work out for a really big people in that alternative communities, like Carrie Cassidy from Project Camelot? How did that ascension work out for you, Carrie Cassidy? Oh, what happened? Your face got all twisted. Half of your face, darling, ascended, and half of it stayed behind in 3D because your stupid ass didn't know that you were a test subject. So I'm sorry for telling you that on that time, and you got your feelings hurt. I'm sorry, darling, but I never wanted your crowd. I never wanted that stupid crowd. I never wanted that stupid crowd that follows Lisa Harrison and the stupid Lilu. Where has that led you? Oh, now you need purple blankets and Nike shoes, darling. What you gonna do now? Go fund me? That's where serving that agenda gets you. That's where those insiders get you. If you don't have it inside, You ain't got it anywhere else, darling. You ain't got it anywhere else. That's my rent for now. But I'm just starting with the scum. I haven't even started yet. I haven't even started yet. The scum? But they're going to be gone. All of them. Say hi to Booba. His middle name is Booba too. Get ready to say hi to Booba. All of you. That's my message for now. For now. I'll get to it later. I'll get to each and every one of you, scum. I will. I am not going to leave you behind. Nobody's going to get left behind in my reality. You've invaded my reality. Oops. Oops. You've invaded my reality. And you know who I'm talking to. You know, and so I have full on right to say what I can say now. So here we go. Caesar, what's going on? Okay, let me get you down like this. All right, I gotta do my pose for him. My Buddha pose for Caesar. All right, so I'm talking shit. I love talk shit because you know what? Finally, I can talk shit. How much shit have been talked to in last, 4 years about me? And some of those people are coming into the news right now as being connected to deep state and serving deep state. And those floodgates have not even opened yet. All of the truth, I predicted this in 2015. You can go to my channel and look at it. You can listen to my prediction for eclipse. You can listen to my prediction in 2018, what's going to happen to Q movement and how it's going to take the world over. Go listen to it. That's not shit. That's what happened. And that's what's happening. And these people have no freaking clue what's happening because they're just following orders because they're all trained dogs. They told you that. They told you their information comes from sources that are secrets. You know what? I'll let you in on one little secret. That is a cult secret that nobody will tell you. There is no such a thing as secrets. It doesn't exist. There is no such a thing. There is no secrets ever. If you know a cult, if you know yourself, if you know what I'm talking about, and you got to the point where you got clarity on who you are, and that's the first stage. That's when you know you've come to self-realization. Because that's the first sign of self-realization, is the clarity that this reality, no matter how closed, how small, is yours. And this is something that I've come to know in my conscious life when I was 5 years old, because of what happened to me. My first near-death experience. I've died and I came back at 5 years old. And I came back by my own choosing. In fact, by my own higher self willing me going back into this body. Since that day, I don't have the veil of separation between death and life. Since I was 5 years old, I knew that no matter how far I feel in here from whatever it is that drives my soul and drives my reality and gives me this intelligence, whatever it is in this conscious mind, whatever it is inside, I knew since I was 5 years old that it was still me. I never lost the connection that there's me. It was never not me here in this body, never. And I knew that since I was 5, meaning that all my realities, all my whatever intelligence that it is, all that it is, it's all here. God is within. And so I knew that at 5. So none of this fake it until you make it crowd is those of you guys that you knew you knew on that time what I was talking about. You still here and you kind of, you've been following me, and I always talk something that is really does not, it shatters a lot of people's beliefs, because that's what I do. And that's the first step is what needs to be crashed first and deconstructed is all your belief systems. And that's what these people that can only follow belief systems, they can't allow them crack and fall, because they don't have anything to fall on. They don't have their own foundation. They don't feel God within, because they broke their own moral codes for some other God. So now they've replaced themselves with something fake that is not them. Why do you think the drive was so huge in New Age movement? It's for ascension, meaning to degrade your body. I know our body, what they're made of, and I know the technology it's made of. But the highest of it all is all. If anything people learned from Bible, it's that it's all one reality. You can't hide from real God. There is no secrets. When you know real God, then you know there is no secrets. And so for me, all of my reality, everything that I can perceive in my reality, it is my reality. Like it or not, my perception belongs to me, of my reality. And so what I see right now, and then I had enough guts to go against the grain in 2014 and come to people, the very people that were propagating AI takeover of humanity. I'm an investigator. I go where the crime is being committed. Have you figured that out, Lisa Harrison? Or you, Randy Moron? Have you figured that out? I go where a crime is being committed. So Stupido Club, get ready. I've been there. I've seen what you've done and what you're doing. And you can't hide it. You can't hide. You can't hide. So, of course, your only choice you left with, that your masters left you with, Lisa Harrison, is to get those purple blankets and Nike shoes. That's all you're going to get in the end. Because it's not about projecting more programs onto humanity. It's about standing up for ourselves, standing up for our own innocence on this planet, in this reality, and taking responsibility for this reality. This is what it's all about, not about projecting bullshit. That's not what it's awakening is all about, darlings. And if you need to learn that in clown school, then I'm sorry that your IQ level is that low. If you haven't figured that one out, you'll figure that one out soon. Clueless in Australia Club. They will figure out soon. Here's to that. All right. Do you like my brand so far? So here how, okay, I'm going to talk about right now that what's coming up. It's going to be interesting. So the stage of clarity for collective human consciousness is coming into the view, energetically speaking, right now. I am not sure when it's going to manifest, but it's going to be soon. So then what is clarity? Stage of clarity. After clarity, and this is the stage that I was talking about. Once an individual recognizes who they are, then they step into this clarity stage themselves, and then they can see clearly about what's going on in the collective. Because once you get yourself into that state and you're operating on your own trinary field, meaning you're operating through your own original thinking, you're an authentic thinker, and you see clearly what's going on, and you know what to do in this reality because that's your reality. Now you have realized that. And so you realize where you stand and what you need to do. And this is why after clarity comes transparency, because you understand once you see yourself fully for who you are, then you get 360 degrees. And this is when I'm talking about that there is no secrets. This is what it is. It's a state of being. It's a state that what Gnostics talk about is the state of gnosis. You trust yourself to think and you trust the God within, then you operate on that trinary field. But I'm not going to get too technically on that. But once you do all the binary, and this is the funny part, and this is why I call all this people clowns, because they look like they're clowns. Because what they did, fake it until you make it crowd, what they did is they copied and then they projected, copied. But how do you fake? So this is a question for fake it until you make it crowd. How do you fake self-realization? Can you fake it? And is it real? Self-realization. So what if you are on the fake it until you make it path, which is most ascension teachings are all about. It's fake it until you make it. So what happens when you truly come to self-realization? You recognize that you are the God of your reality here, no matter how limited it is. Because when you do realize, self-realize, then you know how to operate your both sides. Because you're not just in neutrality. You haven't attained neutrality or you haven't overcome duality. You become one. You know how you operate. There is no victim field when you have that in your field, right? And so that transparency then, this in New Age, this parrots going around, transparency, we want transparency, we want transparency. That's where you get transparency. Nobody's going to come and clear things out for you, darling. You got to clear your own trash. And I mean it, trash. Oh my God, you guys. In this last year, I've cleared out of my reality so much trash. Oh, some of it stinks so bad. But then you see that transparency in your bigger reality. Okay, and you step into that, and it almost takes your breath away because you see it so clearly. And you go, how do I fix that? But at the same time, you go, oh, I'll just clean out my house. It's my house. You're in it, and you trash, and I see it. You don't need to prove it to me. Because when you come to self-realization and you know, I can see your fake ass 30,000 miles away. in Australia, and whatever the heck you are. It's just human consciousness is it's transforming, transmuting, and it's evolving. It's not becoming stupider. We are going to become smarter. And so we're going to take this quantum leap. And so for that, we need individuals then do it themselves. And you know, oh my God. But the funny thing in this last year, a lot of people are selling quantum healing. Well, okay. That's another talk. Anyway, so I'm working on a lot of different things. But anyway, transparency. What is transparency? Then the next stage is transparency. You can see then, you gain sort of like this peace of mind. You see then what's going on, what's wrong with the situation, what is happening, and where and how you fit in with your own knowledge. You don't chase anybody else's knowledge. What you do is you then water your own knowledge that you start to explore into, and you explore, and so transparency that, and then you have this realizations on collective level. And this is when you start seeing what's happening on the collective. Oh my gosh, there is this, there's this whole different reality here, right? There's a whole different thing going on here. And you see that and you say, okay, what can I do about it? And why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing this? And if you guys remember, in all of my videos that I did with the group conversation about self-healing and all of that stuff, it's that no matter what shows up, it's yours. No matter where it's coming from, it's yours. So how are you going to deal with it? It's for you to figure out. That's why I couldn't give you. I just told you what I did. I told everybody what I did. What worked for me. I knew these things when I was 5. So my natural thing, I just went into nature because that's the best way. That's the best metaphor for everything. Because that's God in its work, pure. That's pure right there. And why do we and I've talked about the value of trees so much in the group conversations, and all of that is because that's what I know. That's my knowledge. So that's my life. That's where I grew up. That's my thing. I grew up with nature. That's my thing. That's my cup of tea. So I'm drinking, it's a fruit juice, actually. It's not wine. Okay. All right. Thank you, Diane. Thank you for joining. Thank you, darling. This works. So I just wanted to test this and stuff. So I'll be done here soon. But wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about what I'm planning to do. There's a lot I've been working on and developing, a lot of projects. So all of that is coming into closing on working on it and developing. So now I'm going to start this journal so I can start talking a little bit about what's going on an energetic level, and then all this other things that I'm doing and all the things that I've been studying and what I have done with myself in this last year. There's a lot of things that I've learned, new things, and a lot of new perspectives that I gain. And so now I want to kind of to shed light, kind of like I did with that. So this is in a way a continuation of that video, Healing Self. And now we're stepping into this stage for healing collective human consciousness. And those people that have done it themselves, we're just going to be talking about this. And so that's why I need to talk about this, because now is the time to talk about. And so I'm going to name this 3 stages that we're going to come into. Is the first stage is clarity. And this is, we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to focus about this clarity. What is it that I can see clearly now? And I talked about the storm and how to be in that eye of the storm. And right there in this past whatever time, we were in that eye. Whoever you knew, you were there, and you were just standing close with your hands close to your heart, and with people that are close to your heart. And that's been the bubble, the eye of the storm for me this past at least 10 months. So that kind of explained this. And then so what comes next for collective is this clearing out. So the trash is gonna fall down to the ground, and of course all of this, but all the trash is going to come to the surface now, and it's going to be in water everywhere, just like after storm. Same thing's going to be happening here. We're going to see a lot of, so what's going to come into collective awareness, let's just say that, comes into collective awareness is the fact that all these broken pieces that no longer hold any, pieces of structures, whatever you want to call it. There's things that just going to start sort of being seen for what they truly are. They might have had a mask, like a painted coffins that Jesus talks about. Some people had masks, a lot of masks on it. And so all of this masks is just this water, the storm's going to wash out. And what you have left, and a lot of people will have, and why they will step into this clarity stage for collective human consciousness and starting to amplify this energy, this empowerment, owning your creation. And so the accountability is going to come, but we already, you already have the moral code. Once you see clearly, you're not going to stand anymore in how does it move? How does we move forward with this timeline? Because we're creating this healing for collective human consciousness. How do we do it? We do it step by step. And so how do we do it? So clarity, in clarity, you will see very clearly people that are still stuck in the victim mode. They're going to come and claim, oh my goodness, this is over here is pushing me, this and that. There'll be little things. You will see above that. It's almost like you'll see above their little bitterness and little things, because you'll understand they're just trash. And they're all of a sudden, there's this people they group together through this storm. They group together into same trash, cycle in whatever they went through. And then all of a sudden they landed somewhere, and they're, with other pile of trash, and they don't know where they are and what's going on. And they're just complaining, why are all this trash around me? Because you're not in your house. You don't own your reality. And that's why you trash. Because you trash your own soul. That's just what it is. So anyway, clarity, and that comes with connecting your individual self to how you fit into collective human consciousness and the process of healing that we're coming in. And you will have that clarity. And so, and that through that clarity, then we're going to be able to give that transparency, because that's how transparency is. You can't see it unless you can see it. And it's just like I'm giving the thing and through the storm. Unless you clear out the storm, unless storm passes by, you can see it. And this is when you can have transparency. So right now, the chaos I was talking about, the 2018 chaos, is now going to settle in. And we've pass through that period as revelation period that I talked about in the 2016 prediction. That revelation period is going to come hard, 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 and then it's going to come down, because then more and more people will become aware and they will gain clarity what's happening on collective level of human consciousness. And this is when you're truly awake, is when you've attained self. That's the true awakeness. That's, if you want to call that ascension. I don't, because they've thrown so much shit on that word that I don't want to use it. So, self. It's easier, simpler. But that's what I'm talking about. When you realize that there is nobody else right now, and this is what's going to start happening in the collective, and this is why it's going to be very difficult for the fake crowd to fake it. Well, they're going to be faking it because that's what they've done always. But those that gain clarity, you're awake. That's what an awake, that's what people talk about, being awake. You're an awake. You've gained clarity. Once you attain self, you've attained clarity on what's going on here in collective and what you need to do. And it's not easy because your conscious mind will have to create it in the linear time. So it's like you gotta rebalance this way and this way. That's why it is like that. And so that will give you that transparency on the collective reality. And it will, for a lot of people, it will be scary because they will become aware of some things that they never knew existed, some things that they never knew it was here. Just like I said, that the eclipse for America, what it's going to do is going to turn the inside out, and it's going to flip the darkness into light, and everything's going to come to surface. And all the fakeness, all the non-real, all the illusion, everything's going to be trashed. It's just going to float to the surface, just like shit does. And it's going to come up. And you know, if you're floating with a few of your other friends in that shit pool, you want to blame me for it? Go for it. I mean, it doesn't matter to me what you think of me. It matters to me what I think of me. And so when I have a chance to stand up for innocence, that I know, because that's what being awake means. There's nobody else but you. And so action. And this is what gives you the ability to take action. When you're truly awake, when you're whining that you're awake, you're not awake. You're lying through your teeth. And you whining about it, and you poor you, and it's just reality is gonna go all AI and everybody NPCs around me. Have you looked in the mirror? Have you looked in the mirror? Chris Geo? Have you looked in the mirror? You're talking about yourself. And then you think it's attractive to me? Have you looked in the mirror? In the mirror, you big flub of fat. And you don't know what to do with yourself. Because you're in a shit pool. And you end up there all on your own choosings. All on your own choosings, Chris Gio. So you deserve every bit of what's coming at you. And you know it's coming. You can smell it. You can taste it. You can't even fucking sleep anymore. I know that. All right. You know what? To scum like you, in Russian, we say, "Do svidanya." Do svidanya. When you figure out what that really means, say hi to Booba for me. That's, I'm gonna, some of these people would really want to hear what they're waiting. Trust me, they're waiting what I'm gonna have to say. Og! Oh my God, you here? Hi, Og! Oh my God, I can finally talk. Oh my God, Og. What are we gonna do with them? What are we gonna do? Og, we gotta do something about that. I'm so sick of their shit. I don't know what I'm talking about, this stupid people out there. I'm not talking, humans are NPCs. Yeah, most are. 97%. There, I said it. Well, there is no opposite. There's self. If you don't have that, if you just belong to something else, if you keep wanting to, it's like it's like they're talking. Right, higher frame, right. It's a higher frame of mind. You move, like I was talking in the beginning, you move into a trinary field, which is a trinary logos that I talked about Aquarian age, and that it's here. We finally flipping, but it's only few individuals that are flipping into that higher frame. And then we have this whole bunch of trash that's floating around in the shit pool, that are talking about, programming, and then what's anti-programming? It's just more programming. So what you got to do is you become yourself, and then through this clarity, transparency, and then action is not a choice, it's a will. So that's why people say action and will is one is the same. So then if you don't act, then you don't have the will. And if you don't have the will, you are playing someone else's game. That's my opinion. Flopping, I know they're flopping. And I know they're getting pissed at me like I'm flopping them. I'm not flopping you. You're flopping yourself, retard. Okay, so but now I'm talking, so even if it's a few people, but you understand, and now we kind of have the words to explain a little bit that, clarity, transparency, and accountability, and then becomes one, because everything in that folds into that one source energy, which is you, goes beyond. And so I say, until you acknowledge that and become that consciously, there's people out there saying, oh, put your conscious mind somewhere on the side over there for right now. Well, when you're doing hypnosis, you can do that. That's fine. But don't do it in your reality. Don't put your conscious mind somewhere else. Own it. Own all of yourself. And so then the higher in oneness in all of what you talk about, I know they want to be flopped. They're begging for it. They're crying for it. I mean, they have shows where they're crying for it. We want our ascension. Oh, please invade us already, aliens. Okay. Oh, what are we going to do with the stupider club? Right. And the living moment is what it is. And you own when are you? And this is why I started this, you guys. And this is why I started this with talking about the fact that when I first died, when I was 5 years old, and I came back, and at 5, the mind is still not in that, it's still operating on that higher frequency. So my memory of that death and returning was completely there. It didn't got messed up when I came back. And so that's why when I said, but they want to be flipped, right? Because that's what been programmed into them, because the 97% of people. But so now the thing is that there is some souls here that my very first graph, I talked about that we might be able to get 10% of the genetic line. You know who I'm talking about. Right, but that was 2017, the crossroad or the choice. Okay, I talked about that earlier. It was the choice. The choice year was 2017. And then after that, it just started to become really visible who is who and who is doing what. And right now, it's like, at this point, it's like they're doing whatever they were doing, and they're going to keep doing this. But what I'm saying is right now we need to come, because right now I feel right now we just passed through something. We just passed through something on the collective level. So I'm talking about collective level healing. And then those that want to be involved in, until they find themselves, get the hell out of my reality. That's my thing. And like you, Ugg, says, get ready to say hi to Booba. I am tired of this. And so people have to choose to either stand up. And I said, in the beginning, I've talked about some of these people, some of these clowns in over there in alternative media right now, presenting all this stuff. And they go, they look so desperate, so disgusting. It's just slime. That's why I call them scum, because they're selling you, I don't know, whatever. They're selling you this, whatever slime this is that they're selling you. So but what they're doing is they're also sucking, trying to. This is why I tried to starve this parasite for a year. I didn't want to make videos. I just send them like remember for 2018, I did a prediction as a postcard to deep state, to those assholes. It was a postcard. So, Ag, I would love to, we can bend this any way we want. I know we can. And that's what we're stepping into. And so let's bend this to where it is a living reality. And so these people have no idea what they're waiting for. They're going to be flipped, or they're just going to go down the drain. They're going to go space dust. Yes, it does disrupt the balance, and a lot. And this is why I wanted to starve this parasite. But I didn't just starve them, Ugg. I in 2017 and 2018, I've given them a lot of I call it, they wanted my honey, so I spiked it with vinegar. How does that vinegar taste now? I know, but I know they're all going to be exposed. I know that, but I want to go beyond that. I don't want to talk about them anymore. They're such a trash. They stink all the way up here. I can't handle it anymore. No, I can handle it. It's just, I don't want to deal with it. What I want to focus on is those people, even though there is just few, even though there is just few people, there's still people that understand that we as humanity are responsible for our own innocence, for our own children. Where is that divine freaking feminine when you need it? Where is it? Where is it? Where? Where are these awake people? This is what I've been talking about. This scum, I told them in 2015. What did they do? Nothing. They can't stand up for innocence. Victims cannot stand up for themselves, because once victim stands up, he's no longer a victim. That's the key. Is standing up, is standing up. These people are incapable of standing up. And that's the crossroad for those that can see. If you can't see and if you don't know what's going on, that it's time to stand up, you dead. You just already dead. Just go already. Go purchase your purple blankets and Nike shoes, Lisa Harrison. Go do it already. Drink that Lilu Kool-Aid already. Do it. If you can't stand up for innocence as a mother, then go drink Lilu Kool-Aid. Go do it. Do it the front of the world. I'm going to choose to stand up for innocence. I'm going to say, I will do everything I can. And if it's talking, I'm going to talk. So let's do something about it. I'm ready. Tushka. Okay. You want to be here and you want to sleep. That's all right. Well, you guys, I've been here for almost an hour. This has been a really good test. I thank you so much for letting me rant. And no matter what and what happened, right now we are stepping into clarity, and that's going to bring transparency. And with that comes accountability. And what that is, activating your will. That's what it's all about. Thank you, Og, for joining us. Thank you. Tinfoil Hatter, thank you. Yes, he's 13 years old, my little doggy. He knows a lot of stuff. He's been through a lot with me. So this is partially his journey too. So we're going to be sharing with you guys a lot more. But I'll be talking about what's going on with the collective, but we do stepping up. And so awareness is going to show up in the collective field. So watch out for that, you guys. So thank you so much. I love you, everybody. I hope this worked and we can do more of this. And we got to do a show too. I'm working on the studio, you guys. A little bit to tell you what I'm doing. I'm working on the studio. It's going to be studio on the go, so I can travel with it and stuff like that. So it's going to be fantastic. My reality is looking so bright and so shiny. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. And so thank you. It's been a while, and thank you for letting me practice, and thank you for letting me rant. What a beautiful life, and thank you for being here. You're true friends and you true creators, because you're still here, and you know this isn't an easy path. What we're doing is incredible. It's so valuable for collective human consciousness. If I had words to explain what I see, I see the brightness of the future, but I feel it so much more, and it's overwhelming, and it's beautiful. So, and it's beautiful because you know what? This trash is gonna fall to the ground, and we're gonna kick it out, and we're gonna end this nonsense. Because you know what? If we, humanity, and especially us, and for us being mothers, and all this comes into our point of view, and we can't activate our will to do something about it, then what are we doing here? I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to sit and wait for somebody else to clean up this shit. It's got to go. And we got to stand up for our innocent children. If humanity doesn't, who will? Who will? And that's what I leave you with, my friends. That's what I leave you with. If we don't, who will? Who will if we don't? Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Stay wild.